Hey traders, it's a little different video. Had an epiphany today about why you, but me too, why all of us fail and don't succeed at things. And it's basically because we're lazy. All right, so like I said, guys, this is maybe a little bit different video than I've done in the past with regards to trading, being successful as a trader, what it takes, all that good stuff, showing our results and what have you. I just had a couple of epiphanies happen to me over the last couple of days, and today really solidified it for me. You know, what I offer in terms of a live trading room is a very niche product. It's somewhat expensive, I guess you could say. It's $250 a month. You got to be kind of fall into a very small niche for it to be something that makes sense for you. Number one, you have to have capital to trade. Number two, you need to know how to trade. Number three, you need to have the ability to stare at a screen all day long. And not everybody falls into that category. And so, you would just think that if you do, man, these are really, really dedicated, hardworking traders that are going to do whatever it takes to be successful. And again, I've had a couple of experiences over the last 3 days, but today it just kind of made me chuckle and laugh. We had a banner day today. It was a $10,000 profit day for me. But of course, it was not a $10,000 profit for everyone in our trading room. And of course, that's always going to be the case because not everybody's taking, all of the trades at the same time. I get that. That's probably as it should be. But we made $1,500 scalping. We got 400 members. We got 400 members in our trading room. We made $1,500 scalping. There were 32 members in our scalping room today. We made a 19% return on an event contract. I think we had 12 members bother to trade that contract. Now, to be fair, event contracts are only legal and available to U.S. residents, and we've got a lot of international members that are clamoring to do them and just simply can't. So, there's a little allowance there. But I just, you go down the list. We killed it today with our NDX trade. 27% return on our 0DTE NDX trade. Probably only 20% of our members trade the 0DTE setups. Now, again, that's, probably appropriate. 0DTEs, day trades, they're not appropriate for everybody. But I'll bet you they're more appropriate for more than 20% of the trading room. Our SPX trade today up $1,620. And again, it's not a trade that everybody takes. So I just wanted to talk about going to work. I love that phrase, going to work. When I started trading, one of the appeals to me was, oh my gosh, you just got to go push buttons and you're going to make money. Like, how awesome is that? It almost sounds illegal that I can go make money by just pushing buttons, right? And of course, if you want to stay in the game very long, you change your attitude very quickly because that's not what trading is. Trading is just a ridiculous amount of work. It is so hard. Trading is so difficult. Look, it's great. We had a $10,000 day today. We are very upset if we don't bring in at least 1,000 a day. minimum. Like if we don't bring in 1,000, that's like our minimum acceptable goal, right? You think that that is something that would be easy? Like, is there anything out there that you know you're like, oh, you just make $1,000 a day and it's going to be easy? No, it's hard, guys. Trading is hard and it takes work. So I just thought I'd share this with you. I'm going to throw in a personal story, so bear with me here. This is, again, not a typical YouTube video that I'm going to give. Bear with me because the story's meaningful to me and maybe it will be meaningful to you, okay? So why do our results stink as traders? Well, successful trading requires a couple things. It requires a really nice combination of knowledge. You got to put in the effort to learn this stuff. Skills, you got to develop your reps, your at-bats. You've got to, it has taken me sometimes 2,000 trades with certain strategies to really hone in and go, man, I've got this thing mastered. How long does it take to do 2,000 trades? Years, but you got to have the skills. You've got to be disciplined in what you do. You've got to have emotional control. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And you got to just do plain hard work. That should say, not say plan hard work. It should say plain hard work. Many traders face challenges that prevent them from succeeding. Here's the top 5 things, and then I added one. Here's the top 5 things that I found happens a lot. And then I added a big one at the end. So number 1 is lack of education and research. One of the primary reasons that traders fail is a lack of understanding about the stock market and trading strategies. Successful strategies require a deep understanding of financial markets, company analyses, technical analyses, economic factors that influence stock prices. Traders who do not invest time in learning and research often make uninformed decisions leading to losses. Ignorance or lack of knowledge, however you want to phrase it, is one of the number 1 reasons why traders fail. I have no idea. I'm 57 years old. I started this in my early 20s. I have no idea. Went to my first quote-unquote mastermind for $250, which back in 1987, that was a lot of money to me, with Charles Gibbons. Have the courage to be wealthy. It was one of my first masterminds that I ever went to. Since then, I've probably spent close to $200,000 out of my own pocket on trainings and memberships and subscriptions and software and mentors and trainers and mastermind groups. And if I had the chance to exchange the knowledge that I'd gained through those for the money back, I wouldn't. They were worth every penny. But I think that's one thing. If we're looking at ourselves in a mirror here, we have to decide, seriously, how all in on this are we? Like, are we willing to put in the work every single solitary day? I will tell you that for me, right now in my trading life, I put in about an average of 2 hours a day, average, 7 days a week. I probably spend on average about 14 hours a week studying, educating myself, going to trainings, attending masterminds, reading, audiobooks, you name it, online research. But I put in 14 hours a week, at least 2 hours a day. Now, I have a little bit of an advantage because I am a full-time trader and I just sit here and stare at my trading screen all day long. So there's, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here throughout the day, the 6.5 hour trading day that I can get that in. So I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's something that I've always committed to. I've never ever gotten to the point as a trader where I've said, man, I've made it. I don't need to learn anything more. And I see that in a lot of traders. Yeah, I don't need any more help. I don't need any more education. I'm going to go out and do it on my own. All right. Poor risk management. Proper risk management is crucial in trading. Traders often fail when they do not have a clear risk management strategy. This includes setting stop loss orders, being diversified in their portfolios, not risking a significant portion of their capital on a single trade. Traders who do not manage their risks effectively can experience significant losses. which can wipe out their trading accounts. We talk about this every day. We talk about money management, position sizing, dollar cost averaging, having dry powder on the sidelines, scaling in and out of our trades, focusing on what we say in the trading room, which is we hope for the best, we expect the worst, using risk graphs and probability calculators, using what-if analyses to look at a trade and analyze it and say, who cares what the best case scenario is? What's the worst case? And yet it's still one of the number one problems that I see in our trading room. People taking on too much risk or inappropriate risk that does not get outweighed by the potential reward. There's risk in every trade that we take, but it should be commensurate with the potential reward. Many times it's not. Okay? If you don't have a system or a way to understand and quantify and minimize the risk that you take, you're never going to create consistent results. Number 3, emotional decision making. Emotions like fear, greed, impatience can cloud a trader's judgment. Emotional decision making can lead to impulsive trades and can prevent traders from sticking to their trading plans. It's essential for traders to remain calm and rational. Now, you might be chuckling right now as I say that. It's essential for traders to remain calm and rational, especially during volatile market conditions. Developing emotional discipline is a challenge for many traders. It's a challenge for many human beings. Every day, again, we have about 400 members in our trading room. Every day, when the futures are up massively or down massively, someone will be direct messaging me. It's just hours before the market still opens. It's 4 or 5 a.m. my time, Mountain Time. What are we going to do about this position? I'm like, well, number one, dude, the market hasn't even opened up yet. You're just looking at futures. Let's let the actual market open up and see how it reacts. And then number 2, what we're going to do is what we do every single solitary day. Follow our business plan that has worked over time, continues to work for us, and probably will continue to work for us in the future. How about that? How about we do that? How about we get away from the knee-jerk reactions? We talk a lot in our trading room, and I focus a lot on stoic equanimity. Google it. Look it up. Stoic equanimity. Mastering your own mindset first, then work on strategies. I rarely see traders that are not successful because they just simply didn't understand the strategy. They didn't know what a covered call was. They didn't know what a wheel trade was. They didn't know what a poor man's leap covered right looked like. They didn't know how to build an iron cart. They knew. It's not about learning trading strategies. It's about mastering yourself. Breathing exercises. Can you drop your heart rate by 10 BPMs in 90 seconds? You should be able to. Whatever your resting heart rate is, you should be able to drop it by 10 BPMs in 90 seconds. If you can do that, you're demonstrating control over self. You're demonstrating stoic equanimity. You're demonstrating the fact that outside influencers are not determining your stress levels. Okay? As Jerry Seinfeld liked to say, you are truly the master of your own domain. We want to be masters of our own domain. You become emotionally strong when you work that muscle every day, just like you would your biceps at a gym. You've got to work on it every day, guys. You've got to meditate every day. You've got to focus on controlling that emotion and creating stoic equanimity. Probably one of the biggest things. Traders will be a lot more successful, generally speaking, if they'll just get out of their way. Just get out of their own way. We are the biggest hurdle to our success, and it's because of a lot of knee-jerk reactions that we make emotionally. Stoic equanimity. It's what we strive for as traders. Number 4 is overtrading. This is a big one. This was a big one for me. I did not have millions of dollars when I started trading. My goal was to become a full-time trader. I knew what my monthly net was, and I knew how much capital I had to trade, and I knew how much, I'm reverse engineering it, right? I knew how much ROI I needed to make to be able to pay my bills. So the idea of sitting on cash was abhorrent to me. Like, I couldn't do that, right? There's no way. Look, we killed it today on our zero DTs, right? 22, 27% returns. That's well above average. A perfect day for us normally is 10%. So you got 10 grand, perfect day on a zero DT, puts $1,000 in your pocket, right? So to be sitting on 10,000 of cash and not trade it because I didn't feel the setup was quite right, all I'm thinking about is, well, good job, Scott. You just threw $1,000 away today, right? You've got to be willing to allow the trades to come to you. You've got to be willing to sit on that trade. We've traded a Dragonfly with a 15-day average data expiration on Boeing, all year long. Started the first year. So we've done it basically twice a month, every 15 days. We've averaged 9 to 10% return on each one of those this year. It's been a fabulous trade. This is a trade, again, that we are, putting maybe 5-10 grand in and averaging close to 20% a month on. It's a pretty solid trade. It's been putting pretty consistently $1,000 to $2,000 a month in each one of our traders' pockets that does that trade. We didn't do it this month because Boeing was just, out of the range of where we wanted it to be by $2 or $3. Now, Boeing's like $182 stock. You might say, well, is it really that big of a deal that $182 stock is $2 out of its range? Can't you still finagle and make the trade work? We could, but it wouldn't be our ideal setup. So we go without, and we go find something else to trade. Guys, there's always another trade. Don't overtrade. Overtrading increases the likelihood of making impulsive decisions. One of the things that I see in our scalping room a lot is overtrading. Oh my gosh, I just lost $100. Now I got to go make that up. Now I just lost another 50. Now I got to go make that up. You're chasing your tail, right? Let the trades come to us. The Pareto's 80-20 rule applies in trading as it does everywhere else. I do over 2,000 trades a year. I do my taxes at the end of the year. You look through your trades. Guess what? 80% of your profit came from 20% of your trades, right? So be picky about the trades that you take. Number 5, failure to adapt. Financial markets are dynamic, constantly changing. Trading strategies that work in the past might not be effective in the current market conditions. Traders who fail to adapt their strategies based on market trends, economic indicators, geopolitical events are at a strategic disadvantage. Flexibility and the ability to adjust your trading methods are essential for long-term success. Every once in a while, when somebody cancels their membership in my trading room, they will put as the reason, your trading style or the strategy that you use doesn't appeal to me. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't flow for me. That's literally an impossibility. That is literally impossible. If you have heard of a trading strategy, we deploy it in this trading room. We're completely strategy agnostic. We don't have favorite strategies. We don't have go-to approaches. We just wake up every day and say, okay, what's the market doing today? We know, understand, and have mastered every single strategic approach out there. We're going to go out and we're going to find the one today that looks like it best fits this situation. And we're just going to trade whatever is appropriate. But frankly, the market doesn't really care if you like that strategy. What matters is, are you using the right strategy at the right time? That's the only thing that matters, okay? You got to be adaptable in these marketplaces. We love down markets. We are loving this market right now. It is, look, there's a reason why we're making 10 grand today, okay? You got to be adaptable. You got to be able to change up your strategies. Anytime somebody meets with me initially and says, let me tell you about my strategy. So what I do is I look at this delta 45 days out, and then I start right, and I'm like, no, bad strategy. I'm like, you didn't even let me finish. I'm like, look, I know it's a bad strategy because there's no it's too inflexible. There's no flexibility in what you're saying. It's too rigid. And even if that particular strategy is killing it right now in the marketplace, it won't be 3 months from now. Something else will come along and be better. So be strategy agnostic. Have access to a system, strategy, mentorship program, or Discord server like I have, where you can have access to anything and everything. These zero DTE trading rooms. Guys, listen, nobody has a better recorded track record with zero DTEs than we do. We did 2 of them today. I made $1,620 on our SPX zero DTE. I made $488 on our NDX zero DTE. Okay? I don't think anybody has a recorded track record that is better than ours for zero DTEs. Who cares? It's one of 20 different strategies. If you are in a trading room of any kind that gives you one strategy, guys, come on, do you think that's a good idea? Do you really think that's the way to approach trading, with just one arrow in your quiver? Zero DTs are incredibly popular. Everybody loves them. That's fine. It should not be the only trade you are doing. That's just unprofessional, okay? So you've got to be able to be adaptable. Number 6, this is the big one, and this is the one that I wanted to hit. A lot of reasons for stinking up our results. One of them in life is that we're just lazy. And I just hate to say it. We're just simply not willing to put in the work. And again, I asked you up front to just stick with me, allow me to share a quick personal story. My biggest passion in life is motorcycles, and in particular dirt bikes, racing dirt bikes. And when I say it's passion, it's a lifelong passion. I love it. It's me with my dad when I was just a little tyke there on the left, and that's me on the right racing there a few years ago. At this race, this race right here. It's in Olympia, Washington. My claim to fame was I beat Travis Pastrana. He was in my race here, and I beat him. It was an enduro cross, and I beat Travis Pastrana. Now, he did crash out. So, but I don't tell people that part of the race. And if you don't know what Travis Pastrana is, Google him. But anyway, I know myself fairly well. I know that personally, physically, spiritually, mentally, financially, I have fallen short in my life because I don't generally put in the work. I grew up racing dirt bikes. My mom's favorite story is that, when I was in the bassinets banging around in the back of the station wagon, this is the late 60s, so, nobody knew what a seatbelt was. If I heard a motorcycle go by when I was 2 or 3 years old, if I heard a motorcycle go by, I would pop my head up and go vrum vrum. Like that was the first main sound that I made as a 2-year-old. Vrum vrum. So I love them. Started racing as soon as I could, and my goal was to be a professional racer. I made it. I got to the pro level. I was maybe able to, back in the early 80s, earn $1,000 to $2,000 a month racing dirt bike. It doesn't sound like a lot, but for a 15, 16-year-old and for early 80s, it was good money, And I don't know, I never made it very far, but I don't know that there's a lot of people that can say that they earned a living as a professional athlete. But I didn't go very far. And there was a buddy that I raced with that, as you're developing your skill set, you can kind of test yourself against others. And he knew and I knew, and we both knew. It was not a secret that I just had more talent than him. I was just more talented on a dirt bike than he was. And I always beat him. But slowly, over time, he would start to stay with me. And then there was the occasional time when he beat me. And he started beating me consistently. And We went to a race in Carlsbad, California, and I had a support ride through Suzuki, and Suzuki had a training school that they carried on in Carlsbad, and I got their used bikes. So I'd spent a lot of time at Carlsbad Raceway in Carlsbad, California. I knew that track. I knew that track by like the back of my hand. He'd never been there. And so we went to this race. I'm like, all right, he's beaten me the last few times, but not today. I'm going to own him today. I'm going to, wipe the floor with him. He beat me again. He beat me going away. He beat me by about 3 minutes in a 30-minute moto, which is a lot. It was embarrassing. And I remember coming across the line, coming back to the pits and going, geez, I just don't understand it. I don't know if you're getting lucky or what is happening. And he looked at me and he said, Scott, you're never going to beat me ever again. And I kind of chuckled, and he didn't smile. He didn't laugh. He said, no, you will never beat me ever again. And I said, well, that's kind of cocky. What do you mean? And he said, how will you beat me? Are you going to outwork me? Because no one's outworking me right now. Like, no one is outworking me. Are you going to outtrain me? Are you going to outnutrition me? Are you going to be healthier and stronger and in better shape than I am? Are you going to practice more than I am? Do you want it more than I am? Because nobody in the world is going to do any of those things. I am all in on this. And you've coasted for a long time on natural talent. But guess what? You're in the big boy leagues now. It doesn't cut it anymore. It's not enough anymore. And you're not in at 100%. I am. So there's just nothing, Scott. There's nothing you're going to do that's going to get you back on top of me. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I am not putting in the work. And ultimately, guys, that's what it comes down to with trading. I'm all in on trading. My trading days are 15-hour days. I spend 15 hours a day at this. Now, you don't have to do that. I'm not saying that you need to do that. But I'm just saying that, I talked to a prospective member of my program in California. I love California, but, it's a little bit different there. That's all I'm going to say. And he said at one point he sort of had the epiphany, oh my gosh, well, yeah, this isn't going to work for me. I'm on Pacific time. Market opens up at 6:30 in the morning. That means I got to get up at like 5:30 in the morning to prepare for this. I can't do that. And I just laughed. I have a Zoom this evening, and I've talked to him a couple of times. We have we have several members, but this is just the one that I happen to be talking to lately, that lives in Israel. And he was direct messaging me the other day, and I said, man, why are we not communicating well on this? Like, do you not understand what I'm saying? And he said, I am so sorry. I am bouncing back and forth between safe houses as I trade based on where the alarm sirens are going off. And it's messing with my Wi-Fi. I mean, that's a guy that wants it. That's the guy that wants it. So it ultimately, guys, it comes down to how bad do you want it? How much effort are you willing to put into it? Decide that for yourself. My first job as a financial planner was commission only. I started as a financial planner with American Express, and my manager was in charge of all of the firings, and he loved it. He thought it was the best job in the world, and he'd come in with a big smile on his face, and he'd wrap his arm around you, and he'd say, hey, buddy, come here. I got some good news for you. We're going to let you go today, and this is fantastic. It is wonderful. It's what we call a mercy killing. See, this isn't working out for you, and if it's not working out for you, it's not working out for us. So this is awesome, because we're going to set you free, and we're going to let you go find something that is for you. And you'll be happier, and we'll be happier. Don't you see how this is an awesome, awesome thing? It's how he would let people go. But you know what? He was spot on. Some traders, I think, need a mercy killing. I think they need someone to come in and go, look, you just think this is about pushing buttons. It's not. It's about continuing education. It's about investing in yourself. It's about putting in an effort. And it's about doing the very, very best that you can do. You're going to have days, guys, when you lose money. It's how trading works. You need to be able to go to the end of that day and go, you know what? I did everything in my power to make it work. And it just didn't work out today. But I know that the way I'm doing this and the effort that I'm putting in will, over time, bring in more money than I let go out. So I hope that helps you guys. If you do want to get serious about trading, if you want to step up your game, if you want to try to become a better version of yourself as a trader, I'd recommend that you check out our trading room. I'm pretty sure you're going to be blown away. There are trades in here that no one else is doing. There are setups in here that no one else is giving you. And frankly, I think our track record speaks for itself. So check it out. Go to tradelivewithus.com. You'll get a Zoom link. You and I will set up a personal one-on-one time to talk via Zoom. Have a strategy session. Make sure that this is right for you. Make sure that it's a good fit. Okay. In addition to that, if you want to come scalp with us, grab this real quick. Today is Tuesday. Here's our scalping results for today. 10-24-23. 6 total trades, 6 winners, no losers. $3,420 was my maximum buying power into the trade. $1,485 profit today. We made $1,485 scalping with $3,420 of capital. That's a really good day. They're not always that good. But we do generally have the potential to make $500 to $1,000 a day. So if you want to try scalping, you can go to tryscalpingnow.com. We do that every Tuesday and Thursday in a live Zoom session. You don't got any money? I can show you where to go get $250,000 of money to trade with. You keep 90% of the profits. They take 10%. You keep the profits. They take the risk. No risk of loss in this account. It's a prop fund trading account. You have to pass an evaluation to show that you can consistently manage risk. But if you can do it, you can get up to $250,000. Check it out, wefundyourtrading.com. If you are, for whatever reason, I had a person asking a ton of questions on YouTube the other day. Finally, I said, why don't you just, I'm not a big salesman. I'm just like, finally, why don't you just get a subscription to our trading room? I mean, what's going on here? Been talking to you for 40 minutes. And she said, well, I'm just not ready to take that step. I don't understand that. Like you either want to trade or you don't, right? You either want to do it right or you don't. But there's people that just have a question here or there. If you just have a question and you'd like it answered, you can go to askyourtradingquestions.com and I can help you there. I'll get you an answer in the same day. If you want to get a hold of me, Scott Stewart Contacts is the place to get access to all of my contacts. And I appreciate you guys, man. I hope you guys are killing it with your trading. I hope you're killing it. I hope everybody's staying on top of their risk. I hope everybody's net lick looks good and you're having a good week. Take care, guys. I appreciate you. And I hope this message falls on your ears in the right intended way. Hope it helps you. A little self-reflection is always good. Take care. We'll see you guys.